Hello, welcome to another new Hera podcast. Today we are talking about the time travel cover-up. Time travel cover-up is a conspiracy theory that United States government, namely under DARPA, has discovered time travel and it's covering it up. The first is Project Pegasus. This is the mainly one project under DARPA where Andrew Basiago claims that the government has covered up time travel and that he was part of the series of experiments called Project Pegasus, where the government forced children into participating in time travel. The justification for the time travel branch of Project Pegasus was to mitigate the threat of a nuclear holocaust posed during the Cold War with the Soviet Union. Time travel black projects might be responsible for anomalies in space-time continuum in both the past and the future. The past, if an event in the past is altered, the person surrounding the event may not even be aware that things around them have changed. Below is a list of events that might be symptoms of time travel experience. The first on the list is destruction of the Library of Alexandria, the largest and most significant libraries of ancient world. There is no consensus to when it was destroyed. The plot to kill Jesus of Nazareth by Joseph Caiaphas, the major antagonist. Outside the interactions with Jesus, little else is known about his tenure as a Jewish high priest. Phantom time hypothesis, 300 years of European history is missing. And the future, Andrew Basiago warned that there are some who are tempted by future viewings so as to profit great gains. The following list highlights anomalies impossibility: the Soviet collapse, the Great Recession of 2008, 9/11 attack on World Trade Center towers. Basiago claims may have been ridiculed, but he isn't the only one who says to have traveled in time. The other include John Titor, Sir Victor Goddard, and Pellegrino Ernetti. Photos from the past in classic movies appear to feature people who have modern technology, such as a woman in an old movie with a cell phone, have raised more awareness towards this conspiracy. Chronovisor is a theoretical time viewer initially of past events. François Brunet claims that Pellegrino Ernetti was a developer of a chronovisor that enabled the viewing of crucifixion of Jesus, and Andriago Basiago claims that DARPA has vastly improved chronovisor technology, and that the US Vatican connection it is true one, because Pellegrino Ernetti, an Italian Roman Catholic Benedictine monk, claimed to have witnessed the crucifixion of Jesus through a device called the chronovisor. He leaked information about this device to François Brunet and embellished the story that he had invented it, although he may have had a part in advancing its application. Ernetti was most likely not its inventor. Circumstantial evidence suggests that the chronovisor was originally an artifact from an unknown source that was used for time viewing. The artifact was highly modifiable because in the decades to follow it was redesigned for time travel application. The chronovisor was a study by key members from the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, which may have included Agostino Gemelli and the Los Alamos National Laboratory team from at least 1947. Physicist Enrico Fermi's contribution to modifying the chronovisor may have been with the use of Fermiac. It was an analog computer invented by Fermi to aid in his studies of neutron transport. Fermi's late research in Rayleigh-Taylor instability may also have been contributed to time travel research and development. If When Herr von Braun was advised of the chronovisor, it probably wasn't until around 1954, likely by 1959. The chronovisor was then absorbed into the DARPA program. It was radically improved in the coming decades, and Andrew Basiago, a former participant in the Project Pegasus program, has described its 40-year evolution. Archaeologist Jonathan Gray, author of Dead Man's Secrets, highlights ancient records that describe a type of screen project used in temple rituals. The projector moved on wheels to give the project image movement. According to Gray's interpretation of the records, Southend emitted from the ancient projector during temple rituals while following image movements, so as to produce an emotional effect. Gray's description of this ancient device is comparable to Andrew Basiago's description of the chronovisor in its semi-original form from the Los Alamos National Laboratory team. It took projected images on the display screen. The chronovisor may have been a variant of this Asian device that Jonathan Gray describes in his book Dead Man's Secrets. The study teams had modified by building a large cabinet and using cathode ray tubes from the viewing of received events on the display screen. It is also claimed that the control panel with a series of buttons and levers was also added for selecting the time and location to be viewed. It also was known to locate and track specified individuals. According to Ernetti, it worked by receiving the coding and reproducing the electromagnetic radiation left behind from past events. It also picked up the audio component or sound waves emitted by these same events. The chronovisor's alleged capabilities are strongly reminiscent of a fictional time viewer which is featured in T.L. Shedder's 1947 science fiction novella, E for Effort. And the last one, if you love experiment and love time travel movies, I will like to talk about some good time travel movies. The first movie is Final Countdown or the Philadelphia Experiment. Although most people will file this film under flop, the Final Countdown contains such an amazing premise it has to be recognized. The crew of the USS Nimitz enters a storm vortex and it is transported to Pearl Harbor in 1941, turning a favorite imaginary wargame scenario into real life. The second one was Avengers Endgame. What happens when the big purple monster man annihilates half the population? Time travel baby. Tony Stark and a gang concoct a convoluted plan that save the universe from being cleft into two, including some very inventive scenes that play with time travel. Like most time travel plots, it creates more questions than it answers, but it's best to just sit back and enjoy. The third one is Edge of Tomorrow, based on the Japanese novel All You Need Is Skill. Doug Lamon's Edge of Tomorrow essentially takes the concept of Groundhog Day and applies it to a military fighting an overpowering alien race. Whereas Bill Murray's temporal nightmare is never quite explained, however, Edge of Tomorrow eventually reveals the reason why William Cage or Tom Cruise is stuck in the time loop. It is a film that is better than it has any right to be, and another great example of time travel fiction done right. Every Back to the Future. In 1985, Robert Zemeckis created a film and a subsequent franchise with so much heart and imagination that no other time travel film has ever matched it. Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, escapes to 1955 and accidentally alters the timeline. He and a scientist Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd, have to team up to the settings to write again. Every role feels perfectly cast and every moment is as is. Memorable as the next. It also happens to have one of the coolest time machines in the sci-fi history. Midnight in Paris. While on a trip to Paris with his fiancée's family, a nostalgic screenwriter finds himself mysteriously going back to the 1920s every day at midnight. I watched that movie it was a good one. The last one I recommend is Project Almanac. A group of teens discover secret plans of a time machine and construct one. However, things start to get out of control. Very good, very good movie. I watched it. I don't know, a couple of times. I watched it. Very, very good movie. So this is it for this episode, and s- tune in a next episode. Bye.